Today, we're diving deep into one of the most important topics for expecting mothers, nutrition during pregnancy. If you've been wondering whether you're really eating for two, or if you're confused about what foods to avoid and why, this video is specifically designed for you. I'm currently in my second trimester, and I've been experiencing firsthand how overwhelming pregnancy nutrition advice can be. Today, I'm going to break down the science behind healthy pregnancy eating, debunk some dangerous myths, and give you practical guidelines that you can actually follow. Let's start by addressing the biggest misconception about pregnancy nutrition. You've probably heard that you need to eat for two now that you're pregnant. This is not only false, but it can actually be harmful to both you and your baby. Here's what the research actually shows. A normal weight woman only needs an additional 300 to 400 calories per day during pregnancy. That's roughly equivalent to a peanut butter sandwich or a small yogurt with fruit. Even more importantly, this increase isn't needed until your second trimester. To put this in perspective, 300 calories is about the same as a medium banana with 2 tablespoons of peanut butter, or a small smoothie. It's not doubling your food intake, and it's definitely not an excuse to eat whatever you want. Now let's talk about weight gain, because this is where that eating for two myth can get you into real trouble. The amount of weight you should gain depends entirely on your pre-pregnancy BMI. If you're normal weight with a BMI between 18.5 and 24.9, you should gain 25 to 35 pounds throughout your entire pregnancy. If you're underweight with a BMI under 18.5, you'll want to gain 28 to 40 pounds. For overweight women with a BMI between 25 and 29.9, the recommendation is 15 to 25 pounds. And if you're obese with a BMI over 30, you should aim for 11 to 20 pounds. Here's something that might surprise you. It's completely normal to have no weight gain or even lose a little weight during your first trimester, especially if you're dealing with morning sickness. The gradual weight gain typically starts in the second trimester at about half a pound to 1 pound per week. You might be wondering where all that weight actually goes. In a typical healthy pregnancy, only about 7.5 pounds comes from your baby. The rest is distributed as follows: 2 pounds from amniotic fluid, 1.5 pounds from the placenta, 2 pounds from your enlarged uterus, 2 pounds from increased breast tissue, 4 pounds from increased bodily fluids, and 4 pounds from increased blood volume. Only about 7 pounds comes from increased fat, nutrient, and protein stores in your body. This breakdown shows you that most of the weight gain is actually functional and necessary for supporting your growing baby. Beyond calories, there are specific nutrients that become absolutely critical during pregnancy. The big four are folic acid, iron, calcium, and vitamin D. Folic acid is crucial for preventing neural tube defects and should ideally be started before conception. You need 400 to 800 micrograms daily. Iron supports your increased blood volume and prevents anemia. You'll need about 27 milligrams daily during pregnancy, compared to 18 milligrams when you're not pregnant. Calcium becomes essential for your baby's bone development, and you need about 1,000 milligrams daily. Vitamin D helps with calcium absorption and immune function, and you should aim for 600 to 800 IU daily. The easiest way to ensure you're getting these nutrients is through a high-quality prenatal vitamin, combined with a well-balanced diet. If you haven't started a prenatal yet, now is the perfect time. Now, let's talk about the foods you should avoid. And more importantly, why? These recommendations aren't about restricting your diet unnecessarily. They're about protecting your developing baby from potential risks. First, avoid seafood high in mercury. This includes large predatory fish like swordfish, king mackerel, shark, and tilefish. Mercury can cross the placenta and potentially harm your baby's developing nervous system. You'll also want to avoid raw or undercooked seafood, meat, and eggs. This means no sushi with raw fish, no rare steaks, and no rye eggs. These foods can carry bacteria like salmonella and listeria that can cause serious complications during pregnancy. Soft cheeses like brie, feta, and gorgonzola should be avoided unless they're made with pasteurized milk. The same goes for unpasteurized dairy products and fruit juices. Deli meats are also on the avoid list unless you heat them until they're steaming hot. But let's focus on what you can enjoy. Low-mercury seafood like salmon, shrimp, and tilapia are excellent protein sources and provide beneficial omega-3 fatty acids. You can safely consume up to 8 to 12 ounces per week. You can still have caffeine, but limit it to about 200 milligrams per day. That's roughly equivalent to one 12-ounce cup of coffee. If you need that morning coffee to function, you can absolutely have it. Build your diet around vegetables, fruits, whole grains, and lean proteins. Vary your protein sources to include beans, lentils, nuts, and seeds alongside your animal proteins. As your pregnancy progresses, you might experience heartburn or constipation due to increased progesterone levels. For heartburn, Tums or Maalox are safe options, but avoid Pepto-Bismol. For constipation, stool softeners like Colace, Marilax, or Metamucil can help, along with increasing your fiber and water intake. Here's how to put all this information into practice. Start each day with a prenatal vitamin. Focus on eating regular, balanced meals rather than trying to add extra calories. Listen to your body's hunger and fullness cues. Stay hydrated and don't stress about perfect eating every single day. Remember, women around the world have had healthy pregnancies with various diets. The key is making informed choices while maintaining a balanced perspective. Your nutrition during pregnancy is important, but it doesn't need to be perfect or stressful. Focus on nourishing foods, stay informed about safety guidelines, and trust your body's wisdom. You're already doing an amazing job growing your baby. If you found this information helpful, please subscribe to our channel for more evidence-based pregnancy content. I'd love to hear about your own pregnancy nutrition experiences in the comments below. What foods have you been craving? And what challenges have you faced with eating during pregnancy?